The surprise twist comes only moments later. As she turns a corner, her phone buzzes. It's a message from an anonymous number. Asterisk, we know what happened tonight. It's not over. Asterisk. Her grip on the wheel tightens. The fight for justice, for real change, is far from finished. The tension may have broken tonight, but something far deeper is at play. And now, she's not just fighting for herself or even the officer. It's for a system that's long overdue for a reckoning. As the woman drives away, she reflects on the encounter, on how a single moment of courage can shift the balance. The officer may have backed down, but the truth is, he wasn't the only one she had to face. The real battle isn't just against individuals, but against a system that perpetuates bias and injustice, often silently, without consequence. The message from the anonymous number stays with her, a chilling reminder that the fight isn't over. But rather than fear, she feels a renewed sense of determination. She has seen firsthand how small moments can lead to big change, how standing up for what's right can unravel even the deepest ingrained systems of power. As the sun sets, she knows that tomorrow will bring more challenges. But for tonight, she's won. This time, at least, justice had a voice. And that voice is not going anywhere. Monica's mind spun as the implications of the twist hit her. Was David truly innocent, or had he been unknowingly swept into something much worse? The defense was now claiming a grand conspiracy, one that involved people in the courtroom, possibly even people she trusted. With every new revelation, the case became more tangled, more complex. The stakes had never been higher. Monica had no choice but to question everything she thought she knew. The deeper she went, the more dangerous the truth seemed to become. But who could she trust in this web of lies and deceit? As the trial neared its climax, Monica realized she was no longer just a judge. She was a key player in a game that could destroy everything. The courtroom buzzed with heated arguments as the defense attorney's accusation hung in the air. Monica felt the weight of every gaze on her, and for the first time in weeks, she wasn't sure where the truth lay. The witness's credibility had shattered, and the claims of conspiracy now painted a picture she didn't want to believe. David, still sitting there, looking more exhausted than ever, met her eyes once more. Was he truly a victim in all of this? Or was he just another player in a game she couldn't even begin to understand? After hours of deliberation, it was time for the closing statements. Monica's hands trembled as she readied herself to give the final judgment. The evidence against David was damning, but the twist about his innocence still gnawed at her. The new witness had left too many questions unanswered. And what about the dark figure pulling the strings? Was this all just a distraction to cover someone else's tracks? As Monica began her final remarks, something unexpected happened. The doors to the courtroom swung open, and a man in a dark suit walked in. He was unannounced, but there was something about his presence that made everyone fall silent. He strode up to the witness stand, holding up a folder with official documents. "Your Honor," he said, his voice cutting through the tension. "I have new evidence that changes everything." The room held its breath as the man handed the folder to Monica. As she flipped through the pages, her heart sank. The documents revealed the identity of the true mastermind, the one behind the robbery, the one who had framed David and manipulated the entire situation. And shockingly, it wasn't anyone in the room. It was someone from Monica's own past, a former mentor, a respected figure in the legal community, someone she had trusted. Her mind reeled as the pieces fell into place. The mentor had orchestrated the entire scheme, using David as a pawn in a larger game of power and greed. David had been caught in the crossfire of a plan much bigger than he ever realized. And yet, he wasn't entirely innocent either. His involvement, though manipulated, had been real. Monica's head spun as she realized she had to make the hardest decision of her life. With a heavy heart, she delivered her verdict. David was not guilty of the robbery, but he was not without fault. He would face charges for his lesser role, but he would be given a chance to redeem himself. As she looked up, her eyes met David's one last time. For a brief moment, she saw a flicker of relief, mixed with guilt. And then, just as the courtroom began to empty, the unexpected happened. The man who had brought in the new evidence, her former mentor, was suddenly arrested. Monica's heart skipped a beat as she realized the twist was far from over. The true cost of this case was still unfolding, and the consequences were far-reaching. The game was only just beginning, and for Monica, there would be no going back.